Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin Classing and I'm back with the third vlog for Nonpareil SPF, aka Pearl, owned and bred by Tracy Geller of 6 Pound Farm. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about how Pearl's training has progressed, sort of increasing expectations over fences and starting to get her ready for her first few competitions. So we use a lot of poles on the ground with all the horses, but especially the young, good jumping, careful horses tend to let the jumps hold them. So what I mean by that is that you turn to the jumps and they'll sort of rock themselves back onto their hind end and let the jump act as the rider's hand to rebalance them. So as a rider, you can get lulled into thinking that your canter is more balanced than it is. But what I love about these clips of Pearl is you can see that she even holds on the pole on the ground. She's so careful and so wanting to do the right thing. That she's really pleasure to ride over fences. And now you can see that we're starting to introduce a little bit of grid work, and same thing, Pearl is always wanting to do whatever we ask her to do, so it's our job to make sure that we introduce it to her slowly enough that she can really build an understanding. So there you can see we started with just part of the grid and now we kind of start to build it up, and then we go from that to a little bit of a more difficult course that incorporates the grid work. And you'll see here we've taken the fillers out, so this isn't really testing bravery, it's just testing footwork and rideability. And this is quite a difficult exercise that we've got set up here to make sure that the horses are really broke to the rider's aids, because really what the jumping is and should be is just a continuation of our flat work and a reflection of the balance that we have the horse in going around on the flat. So the jumps are not obviously as big as they will be. That's not a test of scope. That's not the goal. It's a test of rideability, and it's making sure that the horses are really understanding the day-to-day training. And that's what's getting reflected back to us as riders in the jumps when we do these little grid exercises. And then the day you're able to go out in the ring and jump the exercises that are set for the older horses on the babies is always really rewarding. And here's Pearl doing the turning exercises in the outside line that we had set up with the older horses in mind, but she's sort of checked all the boxes along the way and is ready to answer these questions. So she needs to jump the oxer in the middle with enough control that she can turn to the next fence. So following the contact and staying on a set stride, and then coming down this line of 3 jumps without getting overwhelmed or worried about what's in front of her. And she handles it beautifully, and it's really rewarding to feel the horses sort of increase their understanding. And at this point, Pearl is ready to compete. But what you see here is us just taking her to a local facility to school in a dressage ring. And I think it can be really beneficial for the horses, especially ones like Pearl that are very careful and very aware of the jumps or what's in front of them, to get them in a dressage ring without the pressure of it being a competition a time or two, so that they can really be confident that you're not asking them to jump the boards. And now here you see Pearl at the local venue, Lochmoy, for their Twilight event. And we have to give a massive thanks to Carolyn McIntosh and everyone at Lochmoy for holding such friendly events for young horses. It's great to get them out in a horse show environment. And while we'd had Pearl kind of at little schooling shows just to school around and kind of hang out in the parking lot, this was the first time she was at a show where there were other horses in the warm-up with her. She had other horses jumping around her, and she handled it all really well. But it was also great to know that the venue would be supportive of us needing to, in this case, we jumped the first jump and then circle back and jump the bigger version of the first jump. And it's great that the venue is allowing riders to do what's best for the young horses and give them their exposure. And you can see now she's kind of cantering along confidently. And that's the goal for these sorts of outings, is just to have her learn that going off the farm and jumping is nothing exciting. It's the same rules that we set at home. From my leg, she still has to keep giving me energy, and it's never in Pearl's nature to say no, but she will just sort of, as you can see here, she kind of holds her breath and goes, I'm not sure about this. And so then we want to come around and let her jump the next size up again until she kind of takes a breath and starts to understand, okay, this is enjoyable. This is the same rules at home. I can be confident that the way that we've been communicating is still the way that we're going to communicate, even though we're in this new situation. Nothing about what you're asking me to do is new. And then you can see here, I think this is the end of the course, how her confidence grows, and she really sort of figures it out and feels like she is really enjoying herself. So we're excited to start to get her out competing a little bit in between now and our next vlog, and we will keep you posted on her progress. And as always, if anybody has any questions, you can please feel free to reach out, and we will look forward to keeping you posted on Pearl's progress.